Approval on this architect and all that. Do you want to refer to you and lead in, let you lead in? Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Glad to have you in Boynton, Virginia this morning. This time I'd like to call on Mr. Mr. Tanner to give invocation. I was looking.
Let us pray. Lord God, you have promised where 2 or 3 are gathered together in your name, you will be with them and bless them. God, we ask you to give us the vision by which we can see your love in this world, in spite of our human failures. Enable us to draw upon the wisdom and the experience of yesterday as we respond to the questions and concerns of tomorrow. And guide our hearts and minds that we may do your will and work together for the betterment of this county. Father God, we ask for your blessings on the citizens of this county, this state, and our great nation. And God, we ask for you to keep your hand of protection upon our first responders and our military. We humbly ask you to forgive us our sins and bless us in all that we do. This prayer we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd like to have a moment of silence to honor Senator Frank Ruff, who passed away a week ago. Thank you. You know, Frank was on this board from 1988 to 1991, and he was a member of the House of Delegates from 1994 to 2000, and he was a state senator in 2000 to 2024. He served this county and Southside Virginia well. He will be greatly missed, and he did so many good things for the surrounding areas in the state of Virginia. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion's been made. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. Everyone's had a chance to look at the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion been made. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. Mr. Hendrick.
Mr. Chairman, before I get started, I'd like to introduce my new Erosion and Sediment Control Inspector, Jamie Slater.
Welcome.
Welcome. Glad to have you.
You have an application from Burlington Industrial Properties, LLC, to rezone from Business B1 to Industrial M1. This property, identified as county tax number 168000-A-023, partial record number 8955, is zoned as Business B1 and located on the south side of Route 722 Burlington Drive, approximately 822.4 feet south of its intersection with Route 803 Kensington Road. Closest partial record number is 8955, Election District 1, County of Mecklenburg, reference D Book LR-24-767.
Mr. Chairman, that is in my district.
Let's see if anybody wants to speak on that. Anybody here wants to speak on behalf of the application? Hearing no one, we'll open the public hearing on the application. Anyone wishing to speak? Hearing no one, we will close the public hearing. Mr. Hargrove, I believe it's your district.
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you so very much. At this present time, 1 through 6 on these items of a rezoning for the application We would like to defer it until a later date, preferably until January, because of the surrounding residents is not aware. The transparency of it is not really clear, and they have issues and they don't understand. So I'm going to ask if Mr. Gravitt can help me clarify that as far as the residents and the way that we might can reach them so that we can make a final decision. It's not that we're against it. It's just we just want the public to know exactly what is going on.
Thank you, Mr. Hargrove. Right, so we got a significant subdivision right there, Merrifield Acres. The residents up and down Old National Highway and back into Old Rock Road. It's one way in, one way out, coming up Burlington Drive. And I think it just needs to be some transparency on what's about to happen. It's a rezoning application from business to industrial for the most part, but I think the general public doesn't understand that if that happens, that there will be some data centers that will be constructed in that area. I think it needs to be clear transparency from the county moving forward, and there needs to be some clarity just on the crossing the T's and dotting the I's on a few things as far as utilities and water, power, all of the above on what's to be expected on our end, the residents' end, and the applicants. So with that being said, I'd like to agree with Mr. Hargrove on that motion to defer.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries.
So that's just going to be on 1 through 6 from
Yes, sir,
business
1
B1
through
to
6.
industrial 1?
Yes, sir. 1 through 6.
Okay, Mr. Henry.
Okay, you have an application by Burlington Industrial Properties LLC to rezone from business B1 to residential R1-A. This property identified as county tax number 16800-01-001, partial record number 8869 is zoned as business B1 and is located on the south side of 722 Burlington Drive at its intersection with 821 Old National Highway, Election District 1, County of Mecklenburg, reference deed book LR-24-770.
Okay, anyone wishing to speak on behalf of the application? Hearing no one, I'll open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak during the public hearing? Hearing no one, I'll close the public hearing. The wishes of District 8. Mr. Brankley's district, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, I
You
think
want-
we're on the wrong page here because he read F6, which we voted to defer 1 through 6. So he should be on F7.
Okay.
I read 7, residential B1
Yeah.
to R1A,
Okay.
which is residential.
He just said 6.
Number 7 being Rogers.
Yeah, number 7 is Rogers Farm and all.
Burlington ones were all not alike. What was it? 1 through 5 were all industrial, and then
Yeah.
6 was.
But you voted
I want 1 through 6.
Yeah,
Alex,
his
do you
motion.
want to conduct your public hearing before you defer them? You can always receive comments at the next meeting. You always have another public hearing.
His motion was 1
I
through
think we
6.
need to just do the public
yeah.
hearing
I
next
thought-
time.
Am I correct? His motion was for 1 through 6.
Yes, that's right.
That's correct.
Yeah, anything from business would be one industrial, M1 is deferred into January.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's
1
not
through-
what- okay.
I will let Alex
There
clarify.
is, there is Burlington Industrial Properties has submitted 2 different rezoning requests. One was for business to industrial, and that is on, I believe, 5 different parcels. And then one is from industrial to residential, which is the 6th parcel.
Right.
So they are all by the same applicant. They're generally for a similar, they're for a conjoining purpose, but they're not the same application. So if you want everything with Burlington to go forward to January, which I believe is what you wanted.
Yes, sir.
Then 1 through 6 is all rolling to January, and now we proceed to 7.
Right, so we're gonna do the rezoning from business B1 to R1A?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No.
That's gonna be deferred?
Everything's deferred.
Okay.
That Burlington Industrial Properties LLC is the applicant for it. All of it is deferred to January.
Okay,
I think they had everybody in the little tailspin.
We should be F7.
Application from Rogers Family Farm LLC for a special exception permit to allow for a laydown yard. This property identified as partial record number 2744 and county tax number 126000-A-059 is zoned agricultural and located on the east side of Highway 15 and approximately 1 mile south of the intersection with River Oak Drive. Election District 8, County of Mecklenburg, reference D Book LR 23-631 and Wheel Book WF-12-33.
Okay, anyone wishing to speak on behalf of this application? Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing on the application. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. What are the wishes of District 8?
Based on the planning commission approval, Mr. Chairman, I make this as a motion as a special exception permission application acceptance.
Based on the conditions of the planning commission?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Everyone's heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries.
Okay, you have an application by Constant Lambert Alcohol Towers for special exception permit for a proposed 197-foot communication tower to be located on partial 39561, Mecklenburg County, tax numbers 096000-17-C. This property is located on the north side of 651 Plank Road at its intersection with 844 Parview Lane. This property is located in Election District 6, County of Mecklenburg, reference deed book LR-23-949 and wheel book WF-23-948. And we also have Susan with Cityscape, which is our consultant. President, if y'all have any questions of her.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak on behalf of the application?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jonathan Yates, Arcola Towers. First and foremost, I want to thank Robert and Chariot for all their help during the process, and also Susan Braybull. The facility in question is a 197-foot monopole-style facility designed for Verizon Wireless and 3 additional broadband carriers. It is on the property of Connie Lambert at 2468 Plank Road in South Hill, sort of behind the old high school. Ms. Connie could not be with us here today, but she sent her cousin, Mr. Larry Crenshaw, to represent if there are any questions about the proposed facility. It is designed for Verizon and, again, 3 others, and it's badly needed out there. There are no towers within 2.5 miles of the facility. The closest 2 towers about 2.55 miles to northwest. You have the Lake Country 419-foot guy. You then go about 2.57 miles northeast, and you have a 257-foot guy-style tower owned by SBA. Susan did a very good job of keeping us to our knitting as we went through the approvals. We've had this approved by the FAA. It will not require any lights, as it is 6.3 nautical miles from the Mecklenburg-Brunswick Regional Airport in Broadnax. And really, we have to thank Mr. Crenshaw and the Lambert family. They gave us the perfect piece of property. It was right where Verizon needed to be, and we were able to achieve some incredible setbacks there. The purpose of this facility, folks need infrastructure out there, pure and simple. Wireless is important to everyone. What does it do? It brings voice, it brings broadband, and to me, most importantly, it brings access to 911 first responders, fire, police, EMS, and the flip side of that, the code red alerts. Bad weather's coming, a problem's coming, people can pick up the information on their phone. What does it not do? It doesn't create any traffic on Plank Road. I'm here with Mr. Foltz of Arcola, who will build the facility. It takes him about 45 to 60 days to build it. After that, Verizon only comes to visit about 8 to 10 times a year. It does not produce any noise, odor, lights, vibration, fumes, or glare. It simply brings what is needed, necessary, and essential wireless infrastructure to that part of the county. We're here for any and all questions. Again, thank you, Robert, Chariot, and Susan.
Thank you. We now open the public hearing on this. Anyone wishing to speak? Hearing no one, we will close the public hearing. What are the wishes of the board? District 6.
Mr. Chairman, upon the conditions of the Planning Commission, I motion to approve this special exception permit application.
Motion's been made. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Bonnell?
As Jeff's coming up, I just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce Justin Birch to the board and the public. Justin can come on up too. Justin is our new Director of Emergency Services. I believe a number of the board members in the interview were involved in the interview process, so should recognize Justin, and some more should know him from his lengthy tenure in service to public safety and emergency response here in Mecklenburg County. He's been everywhere, all facets. Very unique profile in that he has EMS, nationally registered paramedic, has fire experience, has law enforcement experience since we are grabbing him from the sheriff's office. So sorry there to the folks in the back. But anyway, so I wanted Justin to have the opportunity to be presented here in front of the board as he begins his new tenure with the county today.
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Forward to working with all y'all. I'm gonna let Jeff do all the talking. Delegate, right? Learn quick. Go photo op over there. Photo op. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Good. Mr. Tanner made this proposal that we come and share our regional training, Mecklenburg-Brunswick Regional Training Facility, some information about that maybe not all board members are, aware of what we do there. So that happened a while back, and it's been going along. John Taylor was supposed to do this, but he left us before he could get to that point. So I'm going to fill in, but I just want to preface that, as most of you know, I've only been here right at 2 years. So this has been going on about 20 years. So John Taylor, Michael Vaughn were very instrumental in giving me a lot of history information. So I want to give them credit for it, that I'm just kind of new custodian there, and keep it running and keep moving forward with some of the projects. The need. The late South Hill Fire Chief Jimmy Crowder, he was one of the first fire instructors certified by the state of Virginia here in Mecklenburg County. He saw the need for a regional training facility that we could utilize for all our volunteer agencies, so they don't have to go someplace else to get training. We could do it right here in Mecklenburg County. So he applied initially for a burn building grant, and it says early 90s, right? Well, we were on the front end of that burn building grant, and it took 10 years to get it. So that was one of the reasons to get to the point where we construct that. So Chief Crowder had that vision. He had some help there. Charlie Singleton from Ebony Fire Department was a very active in the looking for application for volunteer firefighters in Southside Virginia. So he helped work on securing some funding. So that led to the Brunswick-Mecklenburg joint effort to build a training facility. So once he gained that, and we started moving forward with purchasing some land. Here's where it's located. For those that don't know, it's in between Lake Cross and Broadnax out there on Watkins Road. It's a great facility out there. It's a great place. We don't kind of disturb people. There's nobody around us, for neighbors to say, well, we're causing smoke or things. So it's a great location for that. Our development, so we purchased the land in 2006 from the Lambert family. The burn building was the first building we constructed. It was just a field, and all of a sudden we built a burn building. Then we needed bathroom facilities, so we built a bathroom. Then concrete, fire trucks, and water don't get along really good. I mean, gravel, fire trucks, and water don't get along really good as far as having problems. So they saved up their money and they concreted the whole facility. Really great there. Then we added rehab and equipment shelters. And then we moved, when Buckhorn Elementary closed, we acquired 3 training mobile classrooms, had them placed there and refurbed, and that was done from the inmates from Mecklenburg and Brunswick County. So they did all the work, refurbed those, built some decks out there. We used 2 of them as classrooms, and we used 1 as a storage facility, to store our equipment in. And then we added fiber optics so we could have the internet. That'll come into play when I talk about some of the uses here in a little bit. So this is what we have today. The little red building there, that controls our burn building. Our burn building is just not concrete blocks. It has sensors, it has specialty linings to protect it and longevity. That building is in outstanding shape, and that goes to the things that everybody before me has done to keep it there. I've been doing this, I've been in fire service 38 years. This is a world-class facility right here. This is great. And we got to keep it that way. So we got to keep up the maintenance, and it's done a great job way before I got here. We have a Mayday facility, the wooden structure there. That is to teach firefighters how to rescue trapped and injured down firefighters. You have to have that prop to hold the class. So building that prop allowed us to hold the classes here. The bathroom facility on the right-hand side, male and females, and we do have plans or ideas and plans in the future maybe to add shower facilities so we can look about decon and once we get through with a fire. You know, cancer is a big issue with firefighters today, carcinogens, so the quicker we can get them off, the better. So that's a future want we're looking for. Our shelters to hold our equipment. We do our own maintenance there, so we try to save some money. We do all our maintenance and grass cutting. We have a rehab facility shelter on the right-hand side that has some nice fans in there. So after we get through running an evolution, we can go we can get cooled down, get our blood pressures checked, and get ready for the next one, and maybe like hot wash what we just did, like discuss it. And then the training, that's the storage classroom. You see the trucks and cut up buses in the back. We have in the rear, that's where we do our extrication training. We have a big class coming up in January through the state for heavy equipment. So we have that was a pretty good, pretty big class to get here in our county. So that's coming up, but we have the facility for that. The training classrooms are on the right-hand side there. Like I said, they got remodeled. They did a great job inside, new floor and painted them. We have state-of-the-art computers and as far as projection and stuff like that, so we can do our classroom sessions. The connexes were purchased for a storage, but also we were going to build a roof simulation prop. Y'all probably heard about that, right? I think last meeting y'all appreciate it, but y'all voted and approved us to have a new prop there. So when I was approached with like, what do we need next? This was what was on our agenda next at the training center. Did a little research and we came up with this here. It will attach to our existing connexes, and it's able to change pitches. So we can, if you have a steep roof down to a flat roof, this is what you approved. Thank you. And it was, as soon as Mr. Gottschalk emailed me and said, you've been approved, I ordered it. So within an hour. So it takes about 6 weeks to get it shipped out here. So it is ordered on the way. So that's what will be our next addition to the training center. Thank you. Future projects. We'd like to clear off a little more of the property. There's 11 acres there. I think we have 7 cleared. I think that's my numbers. If I'm maybe a little bit off on that, but that's the future, so we can do some more construction. We want to construct a parking lot. We have a little bit of acreage on the other side of Watkins Road. That's allowing us to keep the vehicles out of the training center. Like when we're doing a lot of classes, people are having to park close to the trucks. They're driving around, high-pressure hoses. We don't want to damage anybody's vehicle, so create a parking space across the road, and a training tower. That's something to give us an elevation, 3 or 4 stories, so we can use our ladder truck practice with the ladders, or just advance and hose up stairwells. And originally, there's original permanent classrooms we'd like to build down the road. Agencies that are served by that. Every volunteer fire department, Mecklenburg and Brunswick County, have easy access to it. They just have to put an online request in, and if there's nothing else going on, it's theirs. You know, it's just that easy, just so we know and we can track how often it's being used. Any of the EMS rescue squads, some law enforcement utilize the facility occasionally. And we also have fire departments from outside our county and state. That's how great a facility is. They're coming from other places because they don't have anything like it, so they're requesting to use it. And recently, we have become a fire programs regional test site. So that allows our volunteers, if they have to take tests and stuff, they don't have to go away. They can come right here in the county and be tested for any fire certification exams. Maintenance and upkeep, we have to have an annual inspection on the burn building from an engineer. He keeps up our sensors. You know, there's heat sensors in there, special linings, so we want to protect them. One, it protects our instructors and students, but it also protects the building so we get longevity out of that. We do periodic pressure washing, repairs, anything we need just to keep the facility, ground maintenance. Anything you can imagine has got to be done. We're keeping up with that. So the support, Mecklenburg and Brunswick counties each contribute $20,000 a year to the operation of the training center. I talked to the treasurer, and we're annual cost of about $10,000 a year just from upkeep. Between water, power bills, the inspection of the burn building, that's a little pricey sometimes. Depends on what he has to repair. That's our average, and we take that, you know, what we have left over, sometimes we save it up for that big project. That's how we concreted the facility. That was over, I wouldn't know what it would cost today, but 10, 12, 15 years ago when they did, it was $80,000. So, you know, you'd have to kind of save up. That's what the board, there is a board. It has 2 members from Brunswick County Fire Departments and 2 members from Mecklenburg County, and they meet and make the kind of decisions of what to do with the money and what's going to happen with the facility. And that's it. Any questions for me about that? I appreciate the support we get. It really helps.
Thank you. I've toured that.
I think I remember you down there, Ms. Jennings. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
And if you have not been there yet, it's worth going. I can tell you.
We'd like to invite you someday maybe as a group to come down and maybe we'll demonstrate how we use the facility or something one day as a group. Yeah, we'd love to have you down there and do that.
It's very interesting.
Post that.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm glad we were finally able to get this together because
Yeah.
I think that when we have a structure like this and the facilities that we have, we need to show it off because we want people to come use it. We want law enforcement, we want EMS, we want anybody to come down there. And now with having fiber down there, you can do whatever you need to do there. And thank y'all for all y'all do to keep it up. And hope the burn prop will benefit everyone and they can improve their training skills with it.
I think it will.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Alex, I believe we got some contracts we need to approve. I'm going to let you lead off.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last month at your board meeting, we discussed several contracts that we had done RFP processes through the summer, and the board left it with intents to award and authorization to staff to proceed to negotiations with all the parties involved. The first project we have in front of you today is the Public Safety Building Architectural Design Services. That was the intent to award, went to Mosley Architects, and Tony Bell from Mosley is in the room with us if we have any questions. Staff has engaged in extensive dialogue with Mosley Architects in the last few weeks to get the terms of the contract set. We're almost there. We're at the finish line. We've had several edits to it, and that's why the entire contract is not in your packet this time, is because we haven't produced the edited version of it, and I didn't want to confuse anybody. But we do have the exhibit that has the cost of services in front of you today. The total cost of services, which includes the design of the building, both from schematic design, construction documents, number of related services, and then ultimately contract administration, comes in at $2,318,496. That is $100,000 less than what was in the concept plan that came before the board in June. So we're on track on that project. Russell, I don't know if you had anything that you wanted to add to this conversation.
No, it's been we've worked hard with Mosley and they've worked hard with us, and I think we've gotten to a good spot. We've agreed in concept and all the terms of the contract. We're just going to go over it now, make sure that all we've agreed to integrate into the contract is integrated in, and then we'll be done.
Okay. So there is a motion in your packet that we recommend the board take, but if you had any questions for Mosley, they are here, as I mentioned.
Tony, you have anything you'd like to say?
Come right on.
Have
One
you-
thing I'd like to say is thank you. Thank you for the confidence and trust that Mecklenburg County has put in Mosley Architects. We realize how important this project is to the county and to all the citizens that it will serve. And we are just so thrilled to be selected and move this forward. So we look forward to getting the contract signed and getting rolling. Major already asked me if I'm done yet. I said, not quite, sir, but we're getting closer. Getting closer.
Very good. I almost didn't recognize you without your golf attire.
Yes, sir, I know. Didn't have to bring that up, Mr. Chairman. I'll see you this weekend, I hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. I look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Entertain a motion to approve this contract.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
The motion's been made. Any more discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we appreciate that, and I know our public safety department certainly appreciate that
Absolutely.
as well. The next set of contracts relate to the general engineering RFP that we did, services. The general engineering contracts, we have three services or three companies that we would extend our services with. That's Dewberry, Timmons Group, and B&B Consultants. The contracts on all of these are substantially similar. I would note that the advantage of these particular contracts relative to the ones we had in place to date is that they are more expansive in terms of what scope of services we can utilize under that contract, which is going to be quite beneficial to the county as we continue to grow and develop and have a multitude of different items. In particular, I wanted to call out then the scope of services section. A non-exclusive list of the scope of services that could be provided under this contract may include the design and development of projects in the fields of water utilities, wastewater utilities, roadways, economic or business-ready site development, and residential development. So there will be a lot of opportunities to utilize these, I do foresee, in the time to come. So we would just, at this point, ask your approval of these contracts and authorize the county administration to go ahead and sign them and send them back to the companies to get their signatures.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to see if anybody was here representing these companies that had anything. It's not. Okay.
I was just going to ask, do you need these individually or together? Do
You need separate motions?
You can do them together. Yeah.
You can do them together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve these contracts for the general engineering for Dewberry, Timmons, and B&B Consultants.
Okay. Everyone's heard the motion. Any more discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. All right. Thank you, Alex. Kevin?
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
All right, October's been busy for us. We was able to complete the Dry Creek project. Still got a little, that is paved now, still got a few punch list items we need to do in the ditches and seeding out there. We've also mowing's been a main focus, and it's going to continue to be the main focus in the month of November. Currently, we've got the contract crew mowing on Route 58 now. They should finish up in a week or so. We also have got our state force crews mowing on 47, 49, 15, 1, and 92. We're trying to still get secondary roads mowed too as we're cutting the primaries. We also completed our annual drive run. This is where we, for snow equipment, this is where we put all of our plows on, spreaders on, and we make sure everything works. We was very successful there. All of our equipment is up to date and ready for winter action. We also been signing up snow vendors and stuff too. So it looks like we're going to have us pretty much what we had last year. As far we've lost a contractor or two, but we also gained a couple. So it ended up being a wash. Our emergency crews, they've returned back from Southwest Virginia. 14 Southside Virginia employees went out for 2 weeks to work doing washout repairs and debris removal in Smith County. They worked 12 plus hours a day for 2 weeks out there living in a hotel. So they did a great job. They represent the Southside very nicely out there. And the last thing I had this week, y'all will see the Amish horse and buggy signs going up on Route 47. I had the pleasure to meet with Mr. Peachy a couple weeks ago, talk to him, see what his plans was, what routes he would be using. We determined that 6.5 miles of Route 47, basically from town limits of Chase City out to just past Country Boy Store, Route 660, will be the horse and buggy signs up there. Appreciate Alex and Jenny getting out public awareness on the Facebook, on the social media pages and stuff. Just want to remind the public, although that's where the signs are, you still may see them venture beyond a little bit further. But this is going to be their normal travel routes and stuff around there. So we urge the public to look out for them and their safety while they're traveling up and down the highways. That's all I've got, unless y'all have any questions.
Okay, very good. Anyone got any questions?
I had a couple. Dry Creek, they did a great job with that. Appreciate y'all. Fine
Okay.
work with that. I had a couple, on another note, a couple constituents call recently and talking about, the school zone up here, in front of the high school. And they were wondering why we wouldn't have like a flashing light, say like they were in front of Parkview, across before you get to it, on each side, east and west. You can see pretty well from going west, but going east, when you pop over that hill, heavy equipment or tractor trailers, it's pretty tight when you come over that hill to slow down. I was just seeing if there was a possibility to get the ball rolling or a study or whatever we need to do to try to have some sort of flashing lights a little bit further back before we get into the school zone, with young drivers and all.
I mean, we can take a look and see what the traffic engineer plans. You talking like overhead caution,
Right.
flashing lights?
So you can see. I mean, it's really more towards like the Boyd Farm back on this side. When you pop over that hill right there, it's the curve right there where the water treatment stuff is.
Okay.
It's pretty close to go from 60 to 35, I'm concerned with tractor trailers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Do they evaluate that, from time to time? It's got to be more traffic now than it was when the school was built. I came through there about 7:30 last week, and it's
a lot.
A lot. I mean, you've really got to pay attention crossing those intersections.
Yeah, we looked at the numbers, I think it was last year and stuff, and we just basically made sure that the numbers that was given to us in the early studies in 2018, 2019 was accurate, and the numbers are accurate, as far as vehicles turning in and stuff. I mean, but I'd be more than happy to mention the traffic engineer and see if they recommend any kind of advanced warning signs on that side. I will tell you, they did look at some signage. We are going to have to space out some signage a little bit. That direction you're talking about, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but where the school sign is and then the 35 ahead and the flashing light, it's a little too tight. We're going to have our sign crew go up there and space back those signs a little bit. I don't know exactly how that slipped through the cracks, but that was brought to our attention. That will be fixed on that end.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I personally came through on a tractor trailer last week, and it didn't sneak up on me because I knew, but I'm from the area. I just thought that could be an issue, coming in with a congested area like that. That's all.
It's pretty tight, 7:30 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I would just reiterate what Mr. Wilkinson saying. I've gotten phone calls from several farmers who travel. They know the area too, but they're concerned about that particular intersection in that area.
Okay.
We don't want something bad to happen and then it get fixed. We need to fix it before that happens.
Yes, sir.
Probably you need to go. Somebody needs to go sit there on a nice clear day, going westbound, and see how that sun. I mean, it might be a blind spot there from the sun, especially when the foliage falls from the trees and stuff like that. They might want to tuck those flashing lights. Don't put them on the crest of the hill. Tuck them back down the hill, so they're just more visible.
There's a lot of glare there at that time of morning.
Suggestion.
Gotcha.
One thing, I guess after Tuesday, do y'all have just a protocol as far as going around and getting up these campaign signs everywhere?
We try to pause a week. We try to give the candidates the opportunity to pick up their own signs. And then after about a week, we will start trying to, especially anything's causing any kind of traffic, anything, we'll start trying to pick up. But we try to, like I said, take a pause a week, give the candidates and their people a chance to pick up their own signs. I know it's a lot of money involved in those signs for us to just to go out there Wednesday morning and start yanking them. I don't think that's where we need to be at. We like for the candidates or whoever put them out a chance to pick them up.
Right. Sometimes I think at the last minute people just start sticking them up anywhere, and they're probably not in the best. They're not probably. It was a state law. They aren't really not even supposed to be on the right of way at all, are they?
Not supposed to be on right of way. We sent out letters pre-election season to all the candidates and stuff about the laws and stuff. So
my concern would just be is as long as it's not a public safety issue, they probably need to go regardless of how much money it would. I mean, the sign's not worth somebody getting killed. So I would if we can. Just be on the lookout for the ones that are stuck in terrible places.
Yes, sir.
So that's all.
All right.
Anyone else?
No, sir.
All right.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Kevin. All right. Got public comment now. Jenny, got some people signed up. Well, Alex?
Yeah, we have several signups. All right, the first person we have signed up is Cliff.
I'd like to remind everyone about the 3 minutes you get to speak. Everyone probably knows the ritual. I know you do now, Cliff.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. My name is Cliff Scher with Long Road Energy, based at 125 High Street in Boston, Massachusetts. We have successfully developed 5,000 megawatts of energy projects across the United States since 2016, and we currently operate approximately 5,000 megawatts of projects as well. As you all know, we are the developer of Seven Bridges Solar Project on the timber property, 3.5 miles northeast of Chase City. And I'm here just to, again, urge the board to vote to move forward and approve the Seven Bridges Solar Project. We've been developing this project since 2017 and have been submitting materials to the county for approval since 2020. During that time, we've been actively listening to the community and county officials and proactively making adjustments to our project. And most recently, a large reason why I'm here today is to announce that we've committed to conserve 250 acres of land between our project and the South Meherrin River. We also have substantial setbacks in our design from Scotts Crossroads. The average distance from Scotts Crossroads to Seven Bridges Solar is over 1,000 feet, and in some areas the project will be more than 2,000 feet off of Scotts Crossroads. Joel Cathy is a part owner of the property where Seven Bridges Solar is planned. He's also a forester with 44 years of experience in Southside Virginia today. But he shared comments with you in August about the forest buffer and the fact that neighbors and people on nearby roads will not be able to see the project, and we've committed to maintain that buffer throughout the life of the project. I also want to take the opportunity here to offer and reiterate an invitation to the members of the Board of Supervisors and the Planning Commission and the Planning Department to visit the proposed location of Seven Bridges Solar. We'd be happy to host each of you and provide a tour, and look forward to working around individual schedules as necessary. We've also continued our outreach to neighbors and have made significant changes to address areas of concern, as you've heard in past meetings. While construction traffic is only approximately a year prior to the 40-year operations life of the project, we're working on plans to reduce the impact of construction traffic to Scotts Crossroads. Seven Bridges Solar is expected to provide more than $7.5 million in new tax revenue to the county over the 40-year life of the project. We're also expecting to spend $15 million to $25 million with local vendors and contractors during construction. We at Long Road have a successful track record and have continued to show ourselves to be a good developer and a good neighbor, and we have a long-term interest in being a valued member of the community in Mecklenburg County. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next speaker we have is John Liben.
I'm John Laban, 405 Scotts Crossroads, and I live right across the street from Seven Bridges. When they first came and showed us what they were going to do, it was horrible. If you may remember, Butcherd's Creek at that time was running mud all the way down, and we're right next to the South Fork of the Meherrin. You heard how much he has moved back. They have moved back from the Meherrin River. You've heard how far they have moved back from Scotts Crossroads. Where I live, it's not going to make any difference. But the other thing about it, it's not a single huge unit back in those woods. It's pockets here and there. The wildlife, and but believe me, this morning I heard deer hunters with their black powder back in there. At least I think that's where they were, I hope. And Long Road has been so responsive to the neighborhood on listening to us and then doing something about it. The other thing is, the other night I went to a fundraiser at the Colonial Theater for nursing scholarships at SVCC. And who was helping as one of the sponsors? Long Road, excuse me. I urge you, of all the projects, this is one I think is worth working on, approving. It's great. They've listened to us. I think if you approve this plan that they have submitted to you, it'll be something that the county should be proud to show other places. If you want solar, or if solar wants to move in on you, this is what is possible. So please approve them. Thank you.
The next speaker we have is Joel Cathy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Joel Cathy. I live in Charlotte County. I'm a forester with about 44 years of experience in Southside Virginia. I'm a past president of the Virginia Forestry Association. I served 2 terms on the Board of Forestry for the Virginia Department of Forestry. I'm the managing partner of the property that's in question. I manage the property and I'm part owner of the property. I view this issue as one of private property rights, the fundamental rights to make decisions on what you do with the land you own. People should be able to make decisions that are best for them, their family, their businesses, and the community. I've been working with Long Road team on this project since 2017. Long Road has done everything in their power to accommodate the wishes of the county and the adjoining landowners. These accommodations make the project better and go far beyond what would be done for forestry or agriculture. I strongly believe you should honor our private property rights and let this project move forward. Thank y'all for your service and thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Eleanor Washington.
Good morning. Yes, I am Eleanor Johnson Washington, and I reside at 1167 Scotts Crossroads. And I want to thank Chair Jennings and the members of the board for allowing us to speak. And I think this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity and freedom for residents to be able to hear their voices. And I do recognize that this is not an easy decision to make. And I know you have done due diligence to really look and discover what's best for our residents and for the county. My parents, quickly, Mac and Hattie Johnson, were the proud owners of a farm and a sawmill. They were hard workers, as many people were then, and took seriously their job of raising all of us 12 children. They taught us to respect and to protect the land that they tilled for food consumption, for sharing with others that food, and for selling. Also, my father was the sawmiller who cut timber to sell for people to buy homes. Also, we had nice streams. We were taught to respect the water that we drank. Also was for the wildlife. And I'm sure I'm probably the only person who might remember drinking water from a spring. Any of you ever did that? But we were taught to respect and protect those things. I am before you today to speak in support of the Long Road Energy company and its project of 7 bridges. Years ago, the Long Road representatives reached out to all of us residents living in close proximity to this proposed facility. And I believe I started with this in 2020. And as years pass quickly, we're now coming up to 5 years since its inception. Long Road's aim is to be the most trusted renewable energy company on the long road to a green future, with a team of problem solvers and problem keepers. So during those Zoom meetings, and we have many of them during the pandemic, I proposed many questions, as I'm sure other residents did. Some of my questions were, and we had quite a few, will local residents be employed?
Ms. Washington, I hate to stop you, but your 3 minutes are up.
My 3 minutes are up.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm sorry. But I would like for you to consider this project and move it forward, because I have found this company to be very reputable. I thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Lori Huber.
Good morning. My name is Lori Huber. My husband Ross and I live on Highway 58 in Boydton, and I'm here to request that the Board of Supervisors take heed to 2 old-fashioned expressions I'm sure will be familiar to you. The first is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And by that I mean, don't ban solar projects in Mecklenburg County when you already have a very restrictive cap on solar. The second one is never say never. By that I mean never intentionally paint yourself into a corner and limit your options in the future. While the board continues to approve data center projects, it seems little, if any, thought is being given to the energy required to operate them. We have all just witnessed a series of catastrophic weather events. What happens when one of these events hits our area? The efforts to bring power back up will be for the data centers, not the local population. We will get our power back eventually, but there are dozens of accounts, many dozens of accounts, of systems continuing to provide power after disastrous storms when the sun returns a day or 2 later, including at our own home. We use solar. We have batteries. That's another topic. But when the sun comes out, the power is back on. It's that simple. Long Road Solar, the developer of the 7 Bridges project, has worked very hard, as you have heard from previous commenters, to make their project one that you, the board, and members of the community can accept and approve. To deny this project at this point makes no sense whatsoever. I really, really hope you individually consider this seriously. The negative tone towards solar in the community is very disappointing, and I hope that you look at this project as an individual group of people that really are set up to do the right thing. The first couple of projects that were approved here were less than ideal. Don't hold previous mistakes against people that are willing to behave very differently and in fact be a model for the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Alden Fauringer.
Morning, everybody. I was kind of surprised to hear so much support for Long Road. I thought I was going to get up here and be the only guy. What I've got to say about them is through the whole process of dealing with them, they've been very receptive to everything that we've kind of brought to them. The concerns that we had from seeing mud on the roads and mud on people's feet. You know, they proposed, oh, okay, we'll do wash stations. They agreed to that. So wash stations for the vehicles and for people's feet as they leave the site so that mud's not getting tracked through everywhere. But basically, those are like little picky little things that we've had with them, but they've been receptive to it. And then even in the bigger picture of the whole map of what they've proposed to do is they've tamed things back to kind of go along with folks' concerns about the waterways and how much of the natural resources are being removed to accommodate these solar panels. It's been great to see. I would hope that, you know, as Mecklenburg County receives more attention and interest in having large-scale facilities, whether it's data centers or other, you know, manufacturing, anything coming to our area, I would hope that Mecklenburg County would see what Long Road is trying to do as a model that we could expect out of everybody else who's coming to us and saying they want to do business with us. Are you receptive? When we talk to you, does it look like you're actually listening to us? And then do we see it on paper the next time we meet that, yep, you took those considerations and you did something with them, and you're consistent about it, and you're supporting things that are going on in the community. They're always more than willing, like they said, with the theater, but other things like our Mecca, our McCallum Gardens, other local things. They're always more than willing to jump in and help out or donate or do something that makes real change in our town. It's a beautiful thing. I would love for more businesses to be like that. I would love to see them be used as this is the template that if you want to do business in Mecklenburg County, you need to be like this. I would request that you approve their plans. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last speaker we have is Blake Cox.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Blake Cox. I'm here representing Energy Right here today. I just hope as you all continue to go through this process of determining the future of solar within the county that you'll just keep it in the mind of property rights of your citizens. And I hope you will still allow for these projects to come forward for your consideration and that you can judge them individually and on their merits. If for some reason you decide not to go this route of allowing solar as a permitted use in the county, I do hope that you can grandfather these current projects that you've been evaluating for the past few years. These companies have worked hard to develop their projects to fit within the community and invested a lot of capital just for the opportunity to present their case for their project. I know after feedback from the community, these projects have changed and improved to be an even better partner within the county. I hope you will allow for them to at least present their case. And then additionally, these current projects are committed to using local businesses to help maximize the benefits of solar within the county. The South Central Virginia Business Alliance, a group I've been involved with, where our whole goal is to help connect the local businesses with the solar industry. I know they'd be super grateful to see a project like this go through. So I hope you all will consider that, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is that all we have, Alex?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I believe you're up next.
Okay. So we have a short report for you this month. The highlight is the first item that I'd want to bring to your attention, and that is for a regional RFP that we are currently discussing to solicit ideas for the use of the opioid abatement funds. We've gotten funds from several different settlements over the past couple of years, and we'll get more as time goes on. The payouts on those are variable. Some of them we get a large payment up front. Most of them we're getting a small annual payment that's not really substantive enough to do anything, any program on our own. In the 2023-2024 budget, we approved $20,000 from us and corresponding amounts from our counties nearby to conduct a planning study that was written by Virginia Tech. That study has now concluded, and they put together a list of recommended strategies to combat opioid addiction. In a final conversation that we had with the lead researcher in conjunction with the Planning District Commission and the county administrators for Halifax, Brunswick, and myself, we discussed the pooling of our resources in order to get a more productive product at the end of the day. And so what we decided to see about what the elected board's interest would be for a regional RFP. And this would to solicit ideas kind of similar to how we did with Parkview High School, and see if there's other governmental agencies or nonprofits or other qualified individuals who can put together a program, a service, some kind of initiative that would serve. It could either serve regionally or it could be for an individual county, but essentially to put it out there and see what responses we might get back and commit to, if there is a good regional program out there, that we would use our sums together to buy a more enhanced product. And so the RFP in front of you today is tentatively scheduled to be released in January. The evaluation would occur next summer, and our goal would be to hit the Opioid Abatement Authority's fall 2025 grant window. So we're hoping that if we have a good package of ideas, that we could then push that to the state to try to secure additional funding from them in partnership with the local funds that we have direct to us. So at this time, what we are requesting, and this is also going to be on the board agendas for Halifax and Brunswick in the next, either this month or next month, is to get the elected board's approval to allow the staff of the counties, the Southside Planning District Commission, and Virginia Tech to put this RFP into the field early next year.
So you need an approval today or wait?
We need an authorization to allow us to issue it.
All right. Anyone entertain a motion to approve this RFP?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the authorization of the staff and the candidate to do what's necessary.
Okay, motion's been made. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Okay. In this packet, we have several staff reports. I also wanted to point out we did include at the request of Mr. Tanner the Roanoke River Service Authority's audit for this past year. Obviously, we have a strong partnership with RSA in terms of infrastructure development. So just in case any members of the board were curious how RSA is doing, that's in there, and that would be why the report is so much longer than normal, is because there's a lot of pages dedicated to them. And then the last thing I just wanted to add before turning this over is happy start of college basketball season, everyone.
I agree. How about that? Then we'll move on to the chairman's report. We didn't have the Roanoke Service Authority in this?
It was in the J2. It was just our financial statements in there. I just wanted to include them so all the board members would know where we stood. We had a good year.
Usually it's in that, broke out in that chairman's report. That's why I just...
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It seems to fit better in the staff reports.
Okay. Well, anyway, moving along, we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion been made. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, board member matters. Mr. Tanner, you want to start?
Be glad to, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I had to look at you. So.
Well, that's fine. It's either going one way or the other.
Yeah, it's going to happen to all of us.
First thing I'd like to do with Veterans Day coming up, are there any veterans in our audience today? I always know Robert's back there. Thank you for your service. You know, we need to always make sure, not only on Veterans Day, but every day, that we thank all our men and women who served this country. And I will bring up one little history fact that I didn't know about until I got to researching it. For anybody that's ever watched the movie Band of Brothers, I'm sure a lot of people have, one of the members of the Band of Brothers is actually from South Hill. Robert Emory Popeye Wynn Jr. was actually the first person interviewed for the movie. He's actually portrayed in the movie. He passed away before the movie came out. But it is pretty amazing that we had one of those people here from Mecklenburg County. And this county's always had a great sense of pride when it came to serving in the armed forces, but I just thought that would be a little piece of history that I'd like to share. I'd also like to take this time to remember Senator Ruff. He was a tremendous presence, not only in this county, but in this area. He worked tirelessly for the citizens of this area, from the Tobacco Commission to working initially to help us get our first data center here that's really changed Mecklenburg County forever. But he was very instrumental in improving the lives of the people of Southside Virginia. I would like to also welcome Mr. Birch. You're going to be a busy man, so welcome. Also to our new EMS inspector, welcome. Glad to have you. With Thanksgiving, of course, this month, I think we all need to remember everything we're thankful for. Also, too, everybody knows tomorrow's election day, so if you haven't voted, please get out and vote. A lot of people have fought for this right over the years for us to be able to do this. So I'd like to encourage everybody to do that. And on a district note, everybody's been calling me about the cell phone tower in Bracy. They put the panels on it. It should be going online soon. It is a T-Mobile tower. They're hoping to have other cell phone providers come onto it, but hopefully that tower will also improve the cell service in that area. And other than that, I just say thank you to the staff for all y'all do for us. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Town. Mr. Wilkerson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I echo what Mr. Tanner said. You know, about the cell phone tower, I was really glad to see that coming on Plank Road. That is absolutely needed. I mean, there's a lot of areas in the county that fit that description, but from personal experience, I can say that's going to be a big, big help there. So we're thankful for that. The fire training center, you know, that's such an asset to our area. Most people really don't realize. I'm glad they did the report today because it truly is. I've personally trained there myself years ago, and it's state of the art. And I you know, from that I see it's a lot more development since then, since I went through. You know, it's just really impressive that we have such a facility in a rural area. I mean, you know, big cities obviously, but it's really is something to see. That's about all I had. And please, you know, use your God-given right to go vote. A lot of people fought and died for that very freedom. So, thank you.
Ms. London?
I just have one thing to say. Make sure you exercise your right to vote tomorrow. Thank you.
Good for you. Ms. Blythe?
I'm glad to see the road work on Highway 92 completed because I often travel it, and the intersection of 92 and 58. It was a little bit of an inconvenience, but you know, glad that it's completed. And it's heartening to see the welcome that the Amish are receiving to our community. And also praying for a peaceful voting day and protection for those working the polls.
All right, thank you. Mr. Spence?
Well, I want to mention once again disaster relief. Let's don't forget those folks, you know, up there in the mountain area, region. We've discussed, you know, not making a blanketed contribution at this time. So with that said, I just want to encourage the public, encourage board members and what have you, you know, just continue your effort with support in that area. You know, we have a large number of nonprofit organizations that have you know, efforts and support going to that area. So you know, make you a short list and support some of those contributions. They're going to continue to need help for a long, long time. With that said, you know, I just can't help but think that the folks in that region, their Thanksgiving and Christmas will not be any type of normal activity for them. So again, main thing is keep them in your prayers. You know, continue to support the effort going out to that region, and I too would like to encourage people to get out and vote. That's all I have.
All right, Mr. Grattan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to reiterate pretty much what everybody has said. Once again, you know, the huge monumental loss of Senator Ruff. We'll be feeling you know, the negative impact of his loss for a long time. He, like Mr. Tanner had said, improved the lives of people in Southside. He went over and beyond to do his duty. And I think with his loss, it's our obligation to do the same and try to do the best we can to do our duty like he did Like everybody else has said, go out and vote. It's your God-given right. Please, please go vote. It matters. See y'all next month.
Okay, that's all good.
Thank you very much. I want to reiterate, as far as Mr. Ruff, Senator Ruff, if we could please keep their family in prayer, because we know that there's a big loss to the family. He was a family man, and I imagine it's rather hard for the family. And I also reiterate that we go out and vote, and whoever operating this camera, please pull me up closer for Mr. Brinkley. I just want to tell you, Mr. Brinkley, I submitted that they receive a special exception permit in your area. So you have to thank me when you see me. And also, Thanksgiving is coming up. There are many people that are less fortunate than we are. Remember those who can't while we can. That's all I can say. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. I don't have a couple of things I did want to bring up. I noticed that the town of Chase City had a public hearing on Wednesday night about adding a cigarette tax, and I'm not trying to run their business or anything, but I would like to say that, cigarette tax is very regressive, taxes the poor, and it's a town that's struggling economically to pull people in for business and that kind of thing. So just wanted to publicly express my opposition to that. I realize it's their decision, but tobacco has a huge presence in Mecklenburg County and always has. And in fact, more tobacco has gravitated to this county production-wise in the last 10 to 15 years than it was prior to that. So just wanted to mention that. Definitely agree with everyone about Frank Ruff. I mean, you just can't say enough about what this man has done for Southside Virginia. He will be greatly missed, as everyone knows. Tomorrow's election day. Everybody go vote. I'm not sure Adams and Jefferson would be very pleased where we are politically now, but they probably would get over it somewhere along the way. So anyway, that's all I have. We'll entertain a motion to let's entertain a motion to go into closed session now, and then we'll take just a 5-minute break after that.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A8 of the Code of Virginia, and that deals with consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel. Nothing in this subdivision shall be construed to permit the closure of a meeting merely because an attorney representing the public body is in attendance or is consulted on a matter.
All right, thank you. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
And the motion carries. We'll take 2 or 3 minutes to let everybody
Do we need a recertification?
Don't think so.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alex, you're earning your pay today. That's all I'm saying.
You'd like to talk, so
This,
we're going.
this is a different one, so okay. Certification of closed session. Whereas the Mecklenburg County Board of Supervisors convened a closed session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. Whereas Section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Mecklenburg County Board of Supervisors that such closed session was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mecklenburg County Board of Supervisors hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed session to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as was identified in the motion convening the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered by the Mecklenburg County Board of Supervisors.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Who made the motion? I missed that.
Tom did.
Tom, okay.
I did.
All right, we're back in open session. Just wanted to bring up one thing. I noticed that the Plan Commission are still getting stuff delivered by hand. I thought they had these iPads, and why are they not up and working? And
I have inquired the same question.
Okay.
Yeah, they do have the iPads. There is a...
They've had them 3 months.
They have. And there's a technical issue with the logins. Beyond that, I do not have more information. It is definitely not something I'm pleased by.
Well, maybe that's something we can address after the first year based on some stuff you and I talked about. So that's all I have. So anybody else have anything?
Yes, sir. I would like to make an announcement that please let us be aware of our iPads. I couldn't do anything with mine because somebody tried to hack it. So be careful of what somebody wanted me to. Somebody wanted me to be like me. Bad choice, but that was. So be careful.
I will ask, since you brought that up, we get all these notifications for lots of different things, and to your point, I don't click on that stuff, and so when something does come up, I think I contacted you guys one time and told you there was something I had a question about, or you can't be too careful. You really can't, because you can open something, and next thing you know, you open up a can of worms, so to speak. So I agree. Be careful. But I get a lot of stuff that I'm like, why are these people inviting me to this? Type thing. But I guess that's pretty normal.
Some of them that I've gotten, you can kind of look at the email the way it's formatted and tell it's not exactly right. So I don't click on it. I don't want to end up marrying somebody from Russia who don't even know I married them. All right. Anybody else? Stand adjourned.
Ms. Jenny, can I